The subscription economy. Why Gen Z is so poor. Right, let's see why we're eating sardines for dinner.
The midnight release at GameStop, one of the most sought-after moments of the year for gamers around the world. As early as 6 to 12
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I wish I was old enough to actually go to one of these, bro. I really wish I was. These should seem lit as fuck, bro. And later on, I ended up camping outside for sneakers and shit anyway. So like this would have been very cool to go to.
hours before launch, prepubescent teens and older brothers who could legally buy the game for them would camp out in front of the store with one shared goal: to be among the first to own and play the year's most anticipated release. It was an indescribable feeling, being able to hold that physical copy.
I was there for the midnight release of Skyrim 11/11/11. That sounds fire. That sounds fire. I still think Skyrim is the best RPG ever made. I never played Skyrim personally, but I do hear a lot of good things. I wish I was old enough to experience Blockbuster, not gonna lie. How old are you? Because I'm 21 and I experienced Blockbuster. They stayed open. I had one not crazy far from me. It was like downtown Brooklyn. But they closed it around like '09 or something like that. So I got to experience a little bit of it.
Of the game in your hands, reading through the manual attached to the inside of the front cover on the way home. It was one of the first ever memories that I have of being able to claim something as truly my own without my parents' aid.
You could have experienced Blockbuster. It's just a matter of whether you had it in your area or not. I'm 21 too. I worked at Blockbuster in 2001 to 2005. We couldn't work during San Diego fires. Ooh, sounds crazy.
And displaying these discs in my TV console became a subtle symbol of status. When I open my current apartment's closet, now empty of physical games, I'm hit with a stark realization. Experiences like the midnight release at GameStop are rapidly fading into obsolescence.
Yeah.
Think about the last thing that you bought. Do you actually own it? Can you resell it? Modify it? Are you sure? From the music we listen
For the most part, no. And I hate it. I hate it, bro. I bought a fucking PS5 digital edition, bro. I regret that shit so bad because I wanted to save like $100. That shit was not worth it, bro. I should have bought the disc. I like having physical media, bro. Because I ain't gonna lie, that shit can't be taken away from you. If some shit happens, like, let's say you got banned on PlayStation or some crazy shit happened and your account got terminated, those games are gone. Everything you paid for is gone. And mind you, games cost more now than they did back then. I don't even own any of my games. I'm a fucking idiot for that. But don't worry, we're gonna get a new PS5 though. We're gonna get a new PS5 at some point. I don't know when, but we're gonna do that.
to the roofs over our heads, and of course the games we now play, we're slowly moving from a world of ownership to one of eternal renting. Is the convenience of these new business models really benefiting you as a consumer, or is there a deeper, devious reason bubbling under the surface that influenced this change? That's what I want to explore and find out. In the early 1990s, nobody could have imagined a world in which no extra physical space was needed to be able to listen to every song you wanted to hear. But when Steve Jobs created the first iPod in 2001 with the slogan 1,000 songs in your pocket, everyone would soon start to understand the value of digitizing physical products. The iPod offered two legitimate paths to digital music: purchasing directly from iTunes or converting your existing CDs into digital files. This revolutionary approach to portable music sparked explosive growth, but it also created an unexpected parallel revolution. As Apple promoted its paid ecosystem, millions discovered a backdoor solution through peer-to-peer file sharing networks, allowing them to fill their devices with music without spending a dime. Websites like Napster and LimeWire used a system in which users could upload the music they owned to a decentralized server for anyone to download for free, and I definitely did not use.
Apparently a lot of games were manufactured in Mexico. I agree with physical disc. They're resellable too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's literally no value. Like, I buy a $70 game right now, and what can I do with it? I play it, that's it. I remember having an iPod as a kid. Jesus, yeah. LimeWire was the shit in my youth. So yeah, that's crazy. Because the thing is, what this does is like, it brings up a point that a lot of people don't even understand that we value, and that's convenience. People value physical media and practicality, but in the moment where you just want to do something and not have to go through any extra bullshit, convenience, man, it takes over. People aren't thinking long term when they just want to listen to the fucking new Beyonce album, or they just want to play a game. Like, I'm telling you.
Use LimeWire. Actually, we all used LimeWire as a kid. If you are a very late Gen Zer or millennial, I know you were on LimeWire searching for that Darude Sandstorm. But you can see why this would be a massive problem for everyone involved in the production of the music. Artists and record labels were not receiving any royalties for freely downloaded songs and albums, and so it eventually led to these sites being sued. and shut down for copyright infringement. But the damage had already been done. It became abundantly clear that the digital information age would keep spawning new platforms like this, where users looking to save money could find free versions of their favorite artists' songs with enough searching. A solution needed to be made, and it needed to be made fast. And thus, the music streaming subscription service industry bloomed. If everybody trying to get
honestly, this is probably like why fucking even on my stream got taken down. It's probably why, because of shit like this. You know how much money they lost because of shit like this? You think that new Switch even worth getting? If you're a Nintendo fan, like, that's literally going to be the next generation of gaming. Like, they're making a new Mario Kart, Odyssey 2, all that shit. And I doubt they're going to keep dropping those games on the Switch before. So, like, if you're a Nintendo fan, for sure, get it. Wait till the Switch was worth all the games you will love. Huh? I use YouTube to MP3 converter back in the day to download and listen to music. That's a fact. That's a fact. Or I would just, like, literally just doom scroll through YouTube, bro, and just listen to music on there. Me, bro, when I was a kid, I ain't gonna lie, if I ain't have internet, I probably wasn't listening to music. I literally just go through YouTube. Literally.
To buy a subscription. I know browsers you can download for free got me, am I right? There's a lot of browsers that all behave a bit differently out there, but the one with the coolest features that I've used so far is Opera. Let's say I'm making a video about sneezing and farting at the same time. I want to be able to read this article while I write my script, but then I gotta find a way to open two browser apps at once and fit them on my screen. But with Opera, all I gotta do is drag one of the tabs and they automatically create a split screen for you. Then I realized I'd rather have a summary of this page. Easy, with Opera's new Aria AI tool, you can get a detailed summary simply by pressing.
In 3rd grade, fell for the ad. No, honestly, I didn't. I was just, like, actually listening to what the nigga was saying. In 3rd grade, my childhood best friend and I won 3rd place science fair for incorporating SNES Mario Kart and testing response time. That's fire. That was a great excuse to play video games in school.
Spotify was really the first platform to make an imprint in the scene and offered what seemed to be the perfect solution. It solved the growing concern for pirated music and found a way to create a service that was better than piracy and at the same time compensated the music industry. Spotify offers both a free version with limited features and a premium version which is completely ad-free and gives you the ability to download and listen to tracks without data or Wi-Fi.
Once again, the premium, same music they're giving you, which is just adding more convenience, right? They're essentially selling you problems and then making you pay to have those same problems solved. It's crazy.
Just $10 a month. When we were all first exposed to this model, it honestly felt like a dream. I could search for any song that was recorded professionally that I want, with no ads and no potential viruses. And I wasn't even paying for each one individually. All I had to do was pay $10 a month for the platform. It was a steal. Although I might feel that way on the surface, the reality for a lot of listeners, and especially the artists themselves, can often be a lot more deceiving. For example, let's say you're like me, an average Spotify premium listener, and you listen to 15 to 20 hours of music per week. If we assume the average length of a song is 3 minutes, that means we listen to roughly 340 songs per month. If we were to buy each of these songs individually, that would cost us around $340. But with Spotify Premium, we only had to pay $10 for that month's listening. Happy ending.
Spotify is weak. I don't really use Spotify. I'm an Apple Music nigga, bro, so I don't know. I still pirate. Not pirating music in this age, bro. Grant, I'm not bashing you for doing it. I just can't personally, bro. I don't have the patience for that shit. YouTube Premium and YouTube Music, no ads, $14. Yeah, but YouTube's UI isn't the most ideal for scrolling through music, in my opinion. Like, Spotify and Apple Music is probably way better. This is what Netflix is doing. They have decided to add ads. Yep, it's just more money. Literally just more money. Every corporation taking notes. Yeah, because the thing about Netflix too is I think all the money that they were making was literally just off of subscriptions. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but I never seen an ad on Netflix for the longest time. So I think they were just upping niggas' subscriptions. But once again, it's the same concept, right? If Netflix does add ads, they're giving you problems and then saying, hey, we have the solution to the problems that we essentially just gave you. Same shit. Every corporation taking notes. Facts. If I was the owner of Google, I'd make it to where to use Google Chrome or any Google service, you need a subscription, easy money. That's kind of fucked up though, because at that point you're just denying people. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know if that would go very well. YouTube be having them gems too. No, yeah, Netflix killed Blockbuster deservedly. Yeah, Netflix was actually supposed to. I mean, Blockbuster was supposed to buy Netflix too, which is very ironic. They siphon your data. Google gets easy money, silly. Yeah, that's a fact. They siphon your data. Yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't deny internet access. For one, they have your data. For one, they don't need your subscription money because everyone uses Google. They have a huge platform that everyone is on, and so they can literally just make money off of ads. That's how they can afford YouTube. That's how big companies really can afford to do a lot of things. It's actually within their best interest to provide you a free service because millions of people hop on it, and then that's exposure for a lot of companies, so then you can run ads. It's how YouTubers make money. You can't deny bro trying to tax people for no reason. Nah, yeah, this nigga wanna live in a fucking, I don't know, this nigga wants to live in some shit, bro.
Right? Well, if you're not a frequent re-listener like me and you're constantly listening to new songs, then yes, you as a consumer are genuinely winning this deal. But suppose we expand this phenomenon over a year and
China, now low key though, low key.
add in the element of repeated listening. I don't know about you guys, but I'm someone who listens to the same like 3 to 5 albums over and over for at least an entire year. If that's the case, and each album, let's say, has an average of 12 songs, that means I'm really only listening to about 48 songs per year. If I were to buy these albums of songs,
48 songs per year is insane, my boy. I ain't gonna lie. This nigga's a fucking astronaut in the ocean listener.
Only cost me $30 to $50, but with a Spotify premium subscription, I'm charged $120 for the whole year. And as the years go on, you're paying more and more for the same songs you've always listened to indefinitely. Now, is the extra $50 to $90 per year really worth having any song that I want at any time? You could definitely argue that it is, but when you decide to use a music subscription service, your music can and will be taken from you at any time. Have a song you really love saved to your offline library? Well, if you suddenly stop paying for your premium subscription, it's gone forever. And at any time, an artist or Spotify themselves can choose to take that song or album off of their platform due to licensing problems, ownership changes, or regional restrictions. Can you imagine if you had a stack of music CDs at home, then a random person knocked on your door, barged into your living space, and took those CDs without your permission? That is what
literally, and that's the problem that arises when it comes to non-physical media, bro. The theory presupposes a lacking desire for options in music. Yeah.
Spotify can legally do with your downloaded songs at any moment because you do not own a personal license or physical copy of that song or album. But as we now know, it's not just Spotify. Practically all of our forms of entertainment have switched from physical ownership to subscription-based access. You can have access to all your favorite movies and TV shows at all times. You just have to pay for Hulu, Netflix, HBO Max, Paramount Plus, and Disney Plus, and then...
I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm about to say something. You guys may or may not agree with me. There's too many of these shits, bro. There's way too many of these shits. I don't agree with the sentiment of doing this, but low-key, bro, if one company just monopolized all of these, which probably wouldn't happen, I could just pay for one thing, like, I'd honestly I'd really appreciate that. No one uses Paramount Plus, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I love old Nicktoons and Nickelodeon shows, but I don't love them that much, and I could get some of them on Netflix. Disney Plus, I don't know, my sister pays for that shit. Max is valid. Hulu is cool. It's just like, it's only good if it's ad free. Hulu with ads, bro. I'd rather just pirate shit, bro. I'd literally rather just pirate shit. I had 100 gigabytes of music before streaming. I do miss the ownership, except Yellowstone. Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Like, ownership is like so huge. But in a lot of regards, even that costs a lot of money. Back in 2017, all you needed was Netflix and Hulu. That's what I'm saying, bro. Oh my gosh. I remember you either had one or the other, bro. And now you have to have like 5. You have YouTube Premium? Fuck no, I don't have YouTube Premium. I wish I had YouTube Premium. There are a lot of streamers, but Hulu is now Disney and Max. And Netflix are here to stay forever. Yeah, because especially with Max, Netflix has their own studio and they're pretty much producing their own shit, and it's going very well. Like, Squid Game was huge. Avatar, they have access now to. It's crazy. A lot of these streaming services are only going to stick around off of the strength of the licenses that they own. That's in a Game of Thrones Day. Hulu ads are annoying as shit. I can't stop watching for some reason, bro. As soon as a Hulu ad comes up, bro, I immediately bury my head into my phone, bro. I don't want to see none of them shits. Baby Reindeer was huge for Netflix. I don't even know what the fuck that is, bro. But I believe you, bro. I believe you. Netflix studio be cooking. Max and Netflix are the only ones worth keeping these days. There's bullshit like Apple TV now. Yeah. And then even with like the other streaming services, they switch licenses like every fucking 6 months or so, bro. Like 1 minute you'll be watching, it's like, yeah, I bought this because my favorite movie or show is on here, and then boom, you can't watch it there anymore. Now it's like, okay, Netflix sold off the rights to fucking Fast and Furious to Peacock or some shit like that, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. Max is owned by Warner Bros. They own too many IPs. They license to other streamers. They could possibly be bigger than Netflix. That's a fact. And then that's my thing too. They can gatekeep with that too. Now, even though they're not directly, even though Netflix is a competitor for them technically, they can gain money through essentially being gatekeepers for Netflix, because Netflix they have to go through them in order to have some of their IP. So now keeping your competition around low-key becomes beneficial for you. It's crazy. TV will only be around because Apple themselves do very well, and they make a lot of originals that arguably very good shows. Yeah, I believe it. The main issue with less competitors is monopolistic market. It's going that way anyway, though. Facts. But honestly, it's bittersweet, man. It's bittersweet.
And after a couple $100s a month, you will gain access temporarily. The companies, not you, will decide when to take certain shows and movies off their platform due to time-restricted contracts or show popularity. But let's say you end up purchasing a movie somewhere like Amazon or iTunes. That means that you can permanently watch that at any time you want because you bought it, right? Well, not exactly. Besides the obvious restriction of only being able to access that movie or show on that specific platform, which almost always requires you to be connected to the internet, when you purchase a digital version of a piece of entertainment, you're purchasing a license to access and use that content under specific terms and conditions. If you actually read the clauses in Amazon's terms and conditions, which you won't, you'd find out that access to purchase content can be revoked if licensing agreements change. That means that if Amazon's agreement with the rights holder suddenly ends, the movie or show will probably be removed from your library, even though you actually purchased it.
Literally, I've had this shit happen, bro. I remember going to the airport, bro. I wanted to watch fucking Tokyo Drift, and then it wasn't there. And then you fucking go type in, oh, where can I watch Tokyo Drift? And now it's like, oh, fucking Peacock or some shit, bro. It's fucking annoying. It's fucking annoying. You should make a video about the downfall of cable TV. Maybe. I don't know. When I make videos like that, people don't fucking watch it, so I don't even know if I want to do that shit. Like, that's mad effort for people to not watch it. The main issue with less competitors is, oh yeah, we already watched that. Great proposition. Oh, about the video? Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
The same goes with books you buy on the Kindle platform too. And I would love to take this time, because I feel it is relevant, to revisit the category that started this video. Gaming. No longer are the days of driving to the store.
Literally, Alan, that's what I'm saying. But then it's like, if you buy the movie individually, bro, they be charging like $8, $10 for that shit. Sometimes they charge you $8 just to fucking rent it, bro, let alone own this shit, which obviously even that comes with its own issues, bro. Yo, what's up? I agree, make a vid on the downfall of cable. Once again, bro, maybe. I don't know. I'll see.
Store to buy a physical copy relevant. Now, instead of your physical space being partially allocated to your game cases, your drive space within your console is taken up by hundreds of gigabytes worth of digital games that you have to have downloaded.
Yeah, you can't even have these shits on at one time. Then on top of that, you have to pay for storage. Then on top of that, you can't even play a lot of these games unless you're online, bro. Like, oh my god, bro, we're so fucked.
If you want to fully access them. And it's damn near impossible to fit all modern games on a single hard drive. Thank God I turned into a PC gamer a few years ago. But don't worry, gaming has created their own half-broken solution similar to entertainment streaming services. The Games Pass, which is also known as PlayStation Plus on PlayStation consoles. At first glance, the Games Pass might look like as sweet of a deal as Spotify, but for gamers. You get 100.
I haven't been to GameStop in years. Yeah. Like, honestly, in a lot of regards, I hear a lot of people say that they rather just go to Best Buy for games as well. Because they're not trying to be sold like 15 extra things and a fucking credit card and a Power Up reward service. because that's literally like what GameStop pushes to make their money. It's really annoying. GameStop was cool as a kid. Now if I look at it, just a lame shitty game store. Yeah, and they're not making money. They have to push power up rewards or sell you fucking Funko Pops, which at that point, nigga, it's not even GameStop, bro. It's not even GameStop. And it's so annoying because it's like, I'm older now, bro. Like, if I'm going into game, it's not like when you were a kid, you're walking into the game store and you're just happy to be there. You're happy to browse there. You're going there. You're not even sure if you're going to buy anything at all. But even if you know you're going to buy something, sometimes you go into the game store not knowing what you're going to buy. So it's like, all right, I'll browse around. Now, bro, if I am going into GameStop, I just want to get in and out. So all the extra signing up for power-up rewards and do you want Game Informers sent to your house every month? I could give a fuck. Give me my shit and get me the fuck out of there. That's why I don't like GameStop anymore. But then again, I have a digital PS5 anyway, so I haven't been there in a minute myself.
100 plus games, and you'll get access to many big AAA games when they come out if they are put on the Games Pass, all for just $12 a month. Most of my gamer friends are subscribed to the Games Pass, and it's usually how they end up saving money on the latest Call of Duty or other AAA title. After all, they've already paid their monthly fee for that Games Pass and are using it for a handful of other games, so technically they're just getting this new title for free, right? Well, let's create some hypotheticals again. Let's assume you only really play 1 to 3 games on the Games Pass consistently. If most AAA games are around $60, that means it would cost you $180 to buy those games and have permanent access, about $170 more than playing them for a month on the Games Pass.
Yeah, that's the thing too. A lot of these things, they sell you an illusion. Like most gamers nowadays only play like 1 to 3 games. 1 to 2 of those games are usually like free games anyway. And essentially you're just paying for a bunch of shit that you don't even play, but you can play it. I don't know. That's a lot of thing. That's a big thing companies do too. They sell you the idea of something when realistically you're probably not even going to be there for that thing. It sounds nice to get all these games, and honestly, Game Pass I do think still to this day is a good deal if you play games. A lot of niggas don't play games the way that they say that they do, so it doesn't make sense for everybody. To make you feel old, the 3DS came out 13 years ago. Yeah, I know. I be keeping up to date with shit like that, bro. It's crazy. Reddit users on the r/Wall Street Bets forum sparked a buying campaign for GameStop stock in January 2021, which helped drive the stock. Yeah, a lot of niggas made money during that time, bro. Fuck. That shit was iconic. They actually made a whole Netflix series about that, too. I didn't watch it, but I will watch it. That shit is cool.
But if you plan to play those games for years to come, what starts to happen? You end up trapped to a monthly subscription with hundreds of dollars accrued for a game that only costs $60
right.
to have it permanently. And on top of that, just like entertainment streaming services and digital products such as the Amazon Kindle, Microsoft can choose to take games off the Games Pass whenever they like, although they usually never do this for the most popular AAA games. If you've already sunk in a few $100s to your Games Pass subscription, then paying $60 for a game that was on there for a while will make no sense to you. Your sunk cost bias will kick in, and you'll think to yourself, well, I've already been on Games Pass for so long, and I've already paid this much. It doesn't make any sense to pay another $60 for a game I was already playing that.
And the sad thing about shit like this too, this is just how life works. The moment you cancel that shit, life will give you a reason to where you shouldn't have canceled it. Now suddenly your mans want to get on Call of Duty. Now suddenly fucking Ricky from elementary school finds you sitting at the park someday and he's like, hey, you know, I've been playing this shit on Game Pass. We should play. Fuck, I literally just uninstalled Game Pass. Like, it's crazy. I wish I knew how the stock market worked in depth to capitalize off something like that. Or something like the GameStop short squeeze. Yeah. See, I knew about it. I was fucking, I didn't have the bread, bro. I just didn't have the bread.
That was on the Games Pass. And so with a subscription, you are now a customer for life. And if that game is free, you best believe they at the very least have a battle pass where you're forced to pay $10 a month if you want to unlock the newest guns and keep your competitive advantage. I wanted to highlight subscriptions to entertainment services at the beginning of this video for a couple different reasons. The first is that while a myriad of different subscriptions per month adds up to a stupid amount of money, it does offer undeniable benefits. For heavy users who constantly explore new content, like music lovers, these services offer both convenience and potential cost savings compared to purchasing media individually. And second, the growth of these platforms provides provides the most concrete example of the shift in media consumption, creation, and all ownership in general that would define the 2010s and beyond. From one of high upfront costs with lasting ownership to deceptively low monthly payments that ultimately cost consumers more. And the deeper underlying reasons that most companies switch to this model has a lot more to do with your money and information rather than providing a better experience for you as a consumer. So let's move on to a different realm of subscriptions, the ones that are necessary for our work and our lives. This might be a little hard to believe, but there used to be a time where you only needed to pay a one-time fee to have access to a software that could revolutionize the way you worked. When SaaS, or software as a service, became the industry standard, companies saw their annual recurring revenue and stock prices soar. Take, for example, the Adobe ecosystem. Adobe dominates the creative industry as they provide a whole host of software for whatever type of art you're trying to create. In the past, you used to have access to Adobe products indefinitely after a fairly expensive one.
Yeah, bro, like, I can't, like, even this is becoming a hard thing to keep up with, bro. Like, with fucking Streamlabs, like, I want to make the transition to Twitch, and there's something called dual streaming that you can do on Streamlabs, but you have to pay to do that. Then you have to pay for an editing software. Then I have to pay for the software that I use to make my thumbnails. It's crazy, and it gets to the point where it's like, you have to realistically be making money in whatever you're doing to even have it be worth it. It's crazy. You're really gonna have it's like you're gonna get to the point where you have to pick and choose your entertainment, bro. Otherwise, you're just not going to be able to keep up with it. But like, we've been spoiled with shit like this, man. Like, and that's the thing. Even with Netflix being how much it was for so long, people can't picture a life without Netflix. And now, when they start doing little things, they'll start taking little inches, and then eventually see if they could take a mile, and they always do.
One-time purchase. But today, Adobe offers what is called their Creative Cloud. For about $60 a month, you can gain access to the entire Adobe suite and an active subscription.
GameStop should just revert to retro games. I think they actually did, or they're trying to do that. But the problem with that is they're charging so much for it to the point where, like, it's not even practical, my nigga. You're better off just scalping for them shits yourself. And I ain't gonna lie, there's a lot of retro game stores that are like mom and pop and not corporate based that I'd rather support than that shit. No offense to GameStop. I only get free shit because I'm a student. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. The moment you get out of school, you're fucked. And you a senior? Whoo, boy. Listen, you better apply for Amazon now. Nah, I'm fucking with you. But yeah, bro, like, it's hard, bro. I know. Like, I'm not a student, so I got a lot of shit I be doing be out of pocket. Microsoft Excel has subscription. What the fuck? Yeah, like, shit like that. The whole Microsoft Office has subscription now. See, like, I never thought I'd see the day, bro. It's fucked. They're seeing what they can get away with, bro, and they're aware of how much people need these services, so they're willing to do it. That's the thing too, bro. People aren't willing to speak with their wallets. Even with gaming, bro. Gaming, everything. If people spoke with their wallets, none of this shit would happen. But people panic and they're just like, damn, I need to do what I have to do, and then they just buy the shit anyway.
Is required to be able to use.
And the thing is, like, even about me sitting here complaining about this, companies know not to value people's complaints anymore, because at the end of the day, the stock prices tell the truth. Numbers don't fucking lie. So when shit like this happens and people are complaining but they're seeing the stock price go up, what do you think they're doing? They don't give a fuck. They're looking less at what people have to say now, because people don't talk with their wallets. Crazy. Some people use Excel for budgeting. Yeah.
Any of their products now. Highlighting the price difference here is unnecessary at this point.
Sometimes, shit, money and numbers talk, bro. Crazy. Ironically enough, you can't even spell words with numbers, but they definitely talk.
It's obvious that after a few years, you would have paid more for the Adobe Creative Cloud than if you were to buy these softwares up front individually. What I really want to talk about in this section is the way that these companies entrap you in their ecosystems forever. When you've built workflows with these systems, these companies purposefully make it as difficult as possible to leave and export your data. For example, with Adobe products, they actually offer cloud storage for your work, but this isn't standard cloud storage. Files are organized in a proprietary way that works best with Adobe apps. Fonts, color schemes, and brushes you've collected in Creative Cloud also become inaccessible if you leave, and so
that's a fact. Like, over the years, there's things that you bring in just to make your editing experience unique to you. So it's so inconvenient to leave that alone, to the point where people are willing to just keep doing it and keep paying the subscription so they can stay and they can just keep things consistent as to how they've been. Yeah.
Most people don't end up putting in the amount of effort required to start from scratch. You don't even consider switching at the start because the deal of about $60 per month feels too good to pass up. It's only until you're too deeply entrenched within the softwares and all your work is tied to them that you realize the consequences of not being able to access your work anywhere else. And you'll lose access to all your work on the cloud too if you're suddenly unable to pay. You're almost left with no other option at that point than to stay within their ecosystem, even though better software exists that doesn't require a subscription. And honestly, I'm kind of speaking for myself here. But what about the physical items that occupy our daily routines? Surely those cannot be influenced by the rise of subscriptions, right? Wrong. Plenty of items are now being created that require you to buy a physical product from that
skincare and all types of shit,
company, while also paying a subscription just to make the product fully functional. Oh, you thought you just needed to buy the Peloton bike? No, silly. You have to get a Peloton membership too so you can access the classes.
I hate when Apple does it. Apple makes it difficult to transfer stuff that isn't an Apple product. Yeah, that's a fact.
You thought you could repair that brand new John Deere tractor you just bought on your own? Nah, you've got to go to a John Deere approved retailer due to the software they now use in conjunction with the hardware. And of course, we cannot forget about the largest subscription service for every young person or old person within the developed world right now. Renting. As the income housing gap expands due to more big corporations making more money thanks to the fact that we're tied to too many subscriptions that make it impossible to actually own anything, which results in them buying up hordes of houses to artificially inflate prices, most people have no other option than to rent in their lifetime. And renting does seem more convenient. I get it. I like just having to put in a maintenance request and having something fixed for me in my apartment. But these corporations are benefiting from subscriptions far, far more than you are in the long run. And it's about time you start to wake up to the truth. There's even more shade.
Yeah, City Bike has a subscription too, yeah. You don't have to get a City Bike subscription to use City Bikes. But if you're doing it every day, it just makes more sense because the money piles up from you just buying one every day to the point where it's like, nigga, you might as well just buy the subscription.
Stuff going on here that I haven't even mentioned yet. Kind of like the fact that every subscription service creates a constant stream of user behavior data. Spotify doesn't just know what music you like. They know what time of the day you listen, how often you skip tracks, even what device you're using. Netflix uses viewing habits to decide what shows to produce and even what thumbnail images will make you click. This data is incredibly valuable for targeted advertising and product development and allows these companies to sell your information for insane profits. They also often create artificial tiers or limitations to push users to more expensive plans, and many services advertise monthly prices but bill annually to lock in revenue. But really, what all of this is about, besides the obvious soars in stock prices that most of these companies experience when they switch to subscription-based services, is making sure you never have enough money to buy your own assets, but have just enough money to keep giving these corporations your cash indefinitely. The truth is, with the way the economy is right now, most people can't afford to pay for each piece of entertainment or necessary household device individually. Most people can only justify a $20 a month subscription instead of a permanent $500.
And the sad thing is, a lot of people don't understand that just because you can buy something does not mean you can afford it. Like, if you're paying for Netflix, Max, and fucking Hulu, but then you only have enough to make yourself some sardines and rice every day, like, you're probably not affording all those services now, are you? You know, people don't really think like that. They just think like, yeah, I can buy it, but you know, it doesn't necessarily mean you can afford it.
Ownership. And that's exactly what these companies want, because if you have
a lot of niggas, bro, that's supposed to fuck with you be gatekeeping these services too, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You ask your man's like, yo, let me use this, gatekeep, and not letting you out. Family members, all that, which I respect. But people gonna buy us Riptide service just to get Pokemon cards.
Had enough physical assets to live comfortably, then what reason would you have to give them more money? I used to be a heavy minimalist back a few years ago. My apartment only had the bare essentials, and apart from the fact that I was trying to save every cent of extra cash I had because I was much less wealthy, I also saw it as a way to clear the clutter from my mind. I thought it was the most zen-like meditative thing to do, to own as little as possible because you feel so free and you're not tied down by anything. Back then, there was such a big push for minimalism online and how owning nothing could improve your life, but now I'm starting to realize more and more just how bullshit that is. Sure, you should get rid of and sell things you don't absolutely need. I'm not arguing against that, but if you are trying to save money,
it's only good if you grew up off of minimalism to the point where you never felt like you need anything, bro. To go from having to not is an issue, and that's why these companies make so much money too, because at the end of the day, we grew up essentially with the baseline access to be able to watch whatever we wanted, right? We could buy DVDs, we had cable. Obviously, it wasn't as much, but we found little ways to innovate and make things more convenient for us, and then we get used to that new lifestyle, and then it keeps going. Facts. That's facts, Sparky. At one point, I had an Uber Eats addiction. I checked my transition history. I was spending like $250 a month on that shit. I cut that off real quick, bro. Nigga, I got an Uber Eats fucking addiction, bro. I can't even lie. I can't. Still dealing with that shit. That's why learning how to cook is essential. True, but then once again, when you get used to the convenient lifestyle of just having food at your door, bro, it's hard, bro. It's hard. Sometimes it don't even be a matter of knowing how to cook, bro. There's people that are amazing cooks, but it's like, in a lot of regards, bro, we get used to living like kings, bro. We do. We do. To be able to touch some shit and have things show up at our door, bro, that's like life of royalty, bro, back in the day, for real.
One of the main reasons should be so that you can own more of the things that you are surrounded by instead of allocating more of that money into a digital purchase or subscription. As much as you can, start to buy the physical copy of that book you're reading. Go to the store and get the case and CD for that game you love. Buy the vinyl for that album you can't stop listening to. Fill out your living space with physical items that can't be taken away from you after a contract expires or a licensing restriction gets enacted. We thought we were saving more by avoiding these things, but it's only making us poorer in the end. Break away from these subscription ecosystems as much as you practically can, but of course when the time calls for it, you can still use the digital version of these things. I love the convenience of being able to pull out my small e-ink device on a plane without carrying around a clunky book. It saves me a noticeable chunk of space in my backpack. But at the same time, I now understand the importance and value of buying the physical book too. Not just as a keepsake, but as an indication of the assets I am working on accumulating that can never be taken away from me. And that's how we really start to gain more power and control over our lives.
Shit,
Feels like a lot of modern life tries to make us dumber or more confused.
I hope so, bro. I'm so mad. Even him saying this shit to me, bro, all I could think about is the fact that I have a digital PS5, bro. I fucked up so bad, bro. I wanted to save $100, bro, and I ruined my life. Oh, fuck. It's whatever, though. Alright, fuck. Not gonna lie, life before Uber was popular seems so distant now. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I don't even remember, like, bro, I would think I was just eating fucking Chinese food every day and pizza. Like, that was really the only thing you could get delivered. And it was like $10, bro. Max $10. If it was $10, it was expensive, bro. It's terrible. Mind you, bro, even the Chinese places be wildin' now, bro, because they be on Uber Eats now, too. And they get used to making like $20 off of orders that used to cost like $7. Bro, I remember like the Chinese restaurants, bro, you spend more than $10, bro. They used to give you a free soda. Sometimes 2 if you bought 2 meals, bro. Now, they don't do none of that shit, bro. They don't do none of that shit, bro. They just let you just fucking die of thirst, bro. They don't give you shit. Sometimes they don't even give you a fucking receipt or a fork or extra sauces, bro. Because they know how much they can make without having to lose anything, bro. It's all profit margin. It's fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. Okay, people actually used to take them yellow taxis, LMAO. Yeah, and then on top of that, bro, like, people became so fucking socially inept to the point where, like, they'd rather just click shit on their phone than hail a taxi. And I ain't gonna lie, I feel that. I do. But once again, even little things like that, bro, that's an aspect of life that you would normally have to go through, and they remove that barrier, so now you don't have to go through that. You just pay. Pay. Money is a solution to fucking everything now. Shit that you had to deal with, it's crazy. Colleges do this with textbooks. We have digital textbooks instead of hard copy ones. Yeah, I seen some of them even, they'll like ridicule you if you didn't buy the version that they want you to have, but it's like a whole argument of like, oh, it's the same content, so why should it matter? But they just want you to spend hundreds of dollars on books, which is crazy that books should even cost that much. Books that aren't rare, right? Obviously, if it's a part of a curriculum, there's enough for people to have. Otherwise, you wouldn't fucking tell hundreds of thousands of niggas to buy the same book. So what makes that book expensive? It can't be the information in it that's online. It can't be the fact that it's rare, because clearly there's enough for everyone to have. There's just a fucking big ass price gatekeeping it. It's crazy. It's fucking crazy.